Okay. Happy Monday. So I had a lovely Monday meeting with Rains this morning. She is my sweet Monday friend that keeps me organized and helps me get my thoughts together. And I asked her about these calls and I was like, what do you feel like we should be focusing on during this time? Because obviously power hours are helpful, but Plexus is doing those with those dual power hours at least once a week. And I think even catching recordings of those is great. Um, so I kind of gave her the overview for those of you who have been around long enough. I was like, these calls have looked, vastly different over the last 10 years. We've done trainings, we've done, all kinds of things. So I think what we will be doing is kind of going back to a monthly routine where first Monday of the month, we're going to be goal setting. Remember that monthly workflow, that kind of a feel where we're looking at our points. Where did we end last month? Where are we going? Kind of like a kickoff. What are the incentives for the month? What is it going to look like to help you go after these goals? That kind of a thing. Um, and then maybe the second Monday of the month, which is kind of tonight, we'll hit on a little bit of training in a certain area, and then we will ask someone within the group to share either their health or their financial testimony. Depending on how many of us there are, we might run out of health testimonies, after a while. So just to get to know more about each other and remind ourselves why we are in this, why, it's important to remember, you know what, I have been doing this for a long time, but there was a big reason why I started this. And to just celebrate with each other how far we've come. Because sometimes the longer you've done it, you're just like, well, I still feel the same or I still feel normal now. But it's like, man, I got to remember where I was when we started. So love that. Third, maybe the third Monday of the month will be like we might spotlight some people for what they've done in the month and maybe ask some good IPA questions about what that looks like if we've got someone who's already added 3 for the month or someone who's got a new runner, things like that. We may just kind of check on some of those things and do a little bit of training. And then the fourth Monday of the month, we will have a guest speaker, and that will be full team. We'll have all of our other little jewel pocketed teams within our Awaken Life team all together so that we can show that guest speaker some love. But usually what guest speakers look like is they'll come on, they'll share their like full story because we hear and we see on these opportunity events and on these product calls, we're getting the compliant version of people's stories, and we're getting mostly the why plexus, right? So they're telling little bits and pieces of their story. But what I love about these opportunity events that we're watching is they really are presenting the opportunity. But when a guest speaker comes, they kind of just give you their full heart, their full story, health, finances, all the things. And I think that's super encouraging for us here. So we will work each month to find someone who is not just who went diamond years ago, like those people are great, but who is working their business now and seeing success now? What does it look like for them within the last year or two? That kind of a thing. And that will be a full team call. And then if we have a fifth Monday, I think that would just look more like a work together because if it's a fifth Monday, it's probably end of month and we all will have things that we would want to be wrapping up. So that to me feels like a little bit more intentional, a little bit more like, obviously, if we're hopping on this call, I love you guys. I'm so thankful that you are here, but I want it to be fruitful for you and not just another, thing to hop onto when you've got other things to do. I do want it to be intentional and fruitful from our end as well. So that will be kind of the plan and always open for feedback. And if you want to be sharing your testimony in any of those for us, just, here, it's great practice for as you're sharing it with other people and making, a video. We all need to make videos to upload into YouTube and put back into Real People, Real Stories. So we can be practicing in here and then make each other record those. Okay, so I wanted to just touch on that quickly. I put active in August, but it's all in August. Here, let me share my screen real quick. I just wanted to go over a few things that are happening right now. And then Kim is going to be our first guinea pig for sharing her story. Figured I'd let our resident Sapphire in the chat, kick us off. Hold on one second. Where's the share? What's happening? Maybe my participants is covering it up. Yep. Yep. Actually, no. Host tools? Share screen. Why did that go away? Oh, it's literally right in front of my face. Why did I not see that? Sorry, guys. Okay, here's my screen. Okay, so I was gonna start with act or go away bar. I need to, there we go. Okay, so the all in August, you may or may not be doing this, but we did share this on our page. And so this is something that we have given to our team just in case someone wanted to jump into it. So be aware if you've got anyone that was like, yes, that sounds great, or maybe they might have clicked on it. This is what it looks like. It started today and it's just a very simple check-in challenge. Just got a nightly check-in. See right here, day one is in the books. This is being run by Jessica's assistant. So obviously it's beautiful. You're going to have great prizes, all kind of things. But this is where it is. It's in the Team Plexus Provision Challenge group, and it's all in August. So if you are participating in that, that's where it is. Don't forget to be checking in. And if you have someone else participating, that is also where it is. Earlier today, in the Icon Club chat, I did a little video, and here is it right here. If you haven't watched it yet, I would encourage you to go watch it. We are switching things up this month. I think it just makes sense. Last month, we were learning about Icon, getting into the activity, practicing the activity, sending and starting the messages. But starting messages is only the half of it, right? We have to follow up and pivot the message to Plexus, and we have to help those people make an ordering decision and fill our funnel and let people drop through the funnel, right? So now this month, we really want to focus on actually helping people sign up, because whether you're trying to add 10 level ones by the end of this month or 10 level ones by the end of December, you still have to start adding people now, right? We want to go ahead and get into that rhythm of having those conversations, learning how to close, because September 1 is coming in 3.5 weeks, whether or not Icon is on your radar or not. Leaders Retreat will be, right? We are all going to go for it from day one, because we do not want anybody getting to December saying, oh my word, I'm so close. I just wish I would have pushed a little bit more earlier on in the contest. That is the worst feeling. So what do? We work hard from the beginning and front load those contest credits. You never know what will happen at the end, you guys. They may have a month of doubling credits. They may have incentives where you get more. I mean, the fact that they're doing this Icon thing in the beginning to give people 800 credits, they are always looking at how many people are earning and what's the feel of it. So put the work in, because at the end of the day, your credits could double. And if you had just signed the people up that you were working with in the beginning and not slacked off, you would earn the trip, right? So we don't want that to happen. We want to be faithful and be excited about working toward that opportunity to go to Mexico in February. I want to go with you guys. So that is what we're doing in here. We're focusing on adding. So this little video talks a little bit more about that, basically kind of what I just said. So how this works, if you haven't done this in a chat before, every time someone adds one, level one, you're going to pop in here and say, added one, and we're going to count off. So if the next person who adds one should say number 7, added one today. And then the next person who adds one would say number 8. And when we get to 10, those 10 people will be put into the wheel. And out of those 10 people, someone will earn a prize. And then the countdown starts over. So every 10, there will be a prize drawn. That could be 5 prizes a week. That could be 1 prize a whole month. It's up to us, right? So as we're adding, we're commenting in here, we're counting down, and we are putting those on there. Okay. Last thing that I wanted to touch on before we turn it over to Kim for the last little bit before our op event is the back to school 10 to 15% off. So if you didn't see, all of the details are right here in the Awaken Life thread. Sorry, my Jewel thing keeps popping up. I can't see things. Get out of here. So in the Awaken Life page, I posted this. All of the information's here. 10% off Mega Kids, 10% off X Factor Kids, 15% off Hydrate, which is awesome, 15% off Immune Plus. This is great to hit on your moms and your teachers, for ourselves. 6th season is coming. whether or not anyone else in their classrooms are focusing on gut health and internal wellness, probably not. So we want to be protecting ourselves, and other people understand we don't want to get sick, right? So this is a great thing to share. It's only through the 15th. So Monday today through Friday. So only this week. So this is a great touch point. If you haven't maybe had a reason to check in with people on your team lately, this is a good reason to check in with customers. Like, hey, I just want to make sure you saw this. These are some great tools to use as we enter into fall and winter, especially now that school's starting back soon. Definitely great to stock up on some of these. They're on sale right now. Do you have any questions? Always end with a question, because they may not even know about these products, and or you may be able to help them totally fix their order. They may not be ordering currently, and you could say, if you're interested in any of these, we can, figure out a great combo that would be good for your family and be able to save some money. Okay. I'm stopping sharing now, but all of that is where it should be um, on the pages. So if you want to look at that information more, you can. And the last thing I wanted to talk to you about was something that, just for a quick training, is actively working our business. We have in years past done this more faithfully than I think in years recent. But we call that ABBA. Okay, working your business, Active Business Builder Award. That means you are adding 3 people plus to your team each month. You cannot control what other people do. We can try to lead well. We can try to duplicate. We can try to find people to work this business with us. We can try to help them add one and go silver. At the end of the day, you really can only control your own activity and your own thing. So what we want to make sure we're doing is bringing fresh customers in that are going to love our products. That gives us more invigoration to be excited about checking in with people. When it's the same customers you've had forever, we kind of forget, and they're like, they love the products they're on, whatever. And or maybe they don't and they are not ordering anymore. So bringing new blood into your team is exciting and invigorating for you as a team leader. And it's also going to help you grow. If you are adding 3 people every month, you will fight what normal attrition is going to happen, right? People are going to stop their products. But if we don't keep adding, the number just keeps going down, right? So attrition is normal. Retention is the plan, right? Like we're working for retention, but we want to make sure we're adding people into our team buckets, so the whole doesn't feel like it's just all falling out the bottom. So ABBA, Active Business Builder Award, we will be doing more of that shouting out at the ends of the month. Typically, you'll see the added 3 or added 4 or added 1, that kind of a thing. But I just want you to know, like on our team, we really do want to be striving personally to add 3 to your team every month. So some personal goals when you're looking at your numbers would be 3 plus monthly, personally, adding level 1s, 1 to 3 level 2s a month, like especially if you're early on in this, like helping one add one is an incredible goal. If you are, trying to get up here and like, I want someone to go silver, like, yeah, we all do. Like, trust me, I don't help everyone go silver every month either, but it does start with, who do you know, and helping someone add one. We all started by adding one person, right? So that's a great goal to have in mind. If you've been at this a while, you've got a lot of customers, you have some people that are like sharing sometimes. Your goal should be a little bit higher. You should be focusing on 1 to 3 level 2s with those active people, and or helping someone go silver out of your new people, or looking in your back office, who's close, who needs to re-rank, that kind of a thing, right? We want our level 1s. We get to control that by new ads, but we also want to look at our level 2s. What level 1s are we helping add also? That is going to be huge come September through December. You're going to want to make sure you got level 1s and level 2s and been working on that. Okay. And then if 80% retention, like that's really good, right? I think if we don't work at it, you're probably going to see a 50 to 60% retention. Okay. Some people are going to love their product. Some people aren't going to. If You have good customer follow-up, we're troubleshooting, we're getting people plugged in, and we are working on that from a leadership standpoint of making sure we've got things to plug them into, making sure we're inviting them to our team page, making sure we're welcoming them, making sure if we've got a challenge running that we're, tagging them in fun things or educational things often, like we want them to be plugged in so that they stick around, right? And then obviously, one of the best tools of retention is helping them earn a paycheck. We can help them get their products paid for or have money toward their products. We're going to see that retention number increase. Okay. So what that would look like, the ABBA would be a shout out that we're kind of going for, personally. And at the end of the month, I'm going to say, okay, who added 3? I'm going to make them a graphic for ABBA, ABBA, Active Business Builder Award. And who helped a level 1 rank up? Caitlin helped someone go silver and Caitlin added 3 plus, then Caitlin's going to get ABBA plus ALA, Active Leader Award. Okay. So those are 2 different things. You can earn both of those things. This is just like a gold star shouting us out at the end of the month. I'm not going to get a certificate or anything, but these are like personal goals. This is where we're going, right? This is what this would look like if I was a copier salesman and go for no book, right? He had to sell 3 copiers a month or he was fired. So if I've got that in my brain, I got to get ABBA and I'm shooting for ALA. I got to get ABBA, but I'm shooting for ALA. Who am I level 1 am I going to try and help rank up as I'm working on my leadership skills and duplication, but then also that. Okay, I'm going to shut up now and I'm going to turn it over to Kim. Those are things that I feel like you are pertinent to know right this minute. And let's hear about Kim's story. Yay, Kim.
Yay! Hi. Um, so you guys, my health story is interesting how it started because Sally is my upline, and I really started for the business. Like I thought my health was fine, honestly, and a lot of what I saw in how Sally was feeling, I kind of thought I was okay, but I was pretty normal. And I didn't realize how I wasn't feeling that great until I felt better. So that is something I think you hear a lot, but I think it's also something where you have people that you're talking to and they're like, oh, I'm fine. They still might need to try this because they might just feel even better. So just a little touch of my where I was coming from when I started there. So I started um, with the triplex when it was 2017, I think. And I had 2 little kids at the time, and they were 3 and 1, or almost 3 and 1, I don't know. And I was like a lot of this I see in hindsight, like I didn't realize it at the time. So I was really tired. I was momming from the couch. I drank at least 2 Diet Cokes a day. I don't like coffee, so that was like my caffeine crutch, I guess, for lack of a better term. And I just didn't feel like myself, honestly. I probably would have gone to the doctor and they would have been like, oh, you're fine. You have 2 little kids, nothing to worry about. But I started the triplex and it was a very gradual change for me, but it was really shifts that I started to notice, but my husband also started to notice. So it started first with me starting to go to the bathroom regularly. I thought pooping every 5 days was normal, and I'd done it my whole life, never thought anything of it. But I started going to the bathroom more regularly. So my stomach looked a little bit flatter, and I noticed I was feeling more rested when I woke up. Um, and then a few weeks later, my husband said, Kim, do you realize what time it is? It was like 10 o'clock at night, and I wasn't crabby and like talking about how I should have gone to bed like, an hour ago. So he started to notice that I was like, just had more energy and I was feeling better even later in the evening than I was before. Um, and then I started to notice things like this was probably 6 weeks in. My husband and I did a little couples getaway, a long weekend. And this is just a little side story, but it has a point. We bought like a pound bag of Skittles. I don't even know if you can buy them anymore. I haven't looked for one in a really long time. But anyway, there was like a pound bag of Skittles, and we bought it to like have at night when we watched a movie or whatever. You guys, I could have, before I started this, I probably could have eaten half the bag by myself in one night. Like, no joke. Not even batted an eye about it. And we brought half the bag home with us, like at the end of the 5 days. Like, I just found my sugar cravings were way down. I could have a little bit and be satisfied. And that was probably like the biggest moment for me was like, what in the world is going on with my body? Because that was something that I knew it was not something I was trying to change, honestly, but it was something that was naturally changing as I was using ProBio 5 and Slim. And then something else I started to notice more gradually in kind of probably the 3 month to 6 month mark was my skin clearing. And I was using just the triplex, but I had had adult acne and it wasn't like horrible, but I had always had some blemishes on my face, probably since I was 25. At this point, I'm 32 or 33. So, at least probably close to 10 years, I had had some type of acne on my face. And I noticed my skin cleared. I had a couple of breakouts in that time, probably some detox layers, but my skin really started to clear. And yeah, those were kind of my big changes. But I also noticed my mood was better because I was sleeping better. I was addressing my gut health. I wanted to play with my kids rather than just sit on the couch and watch them. A lot of things like that, which seem small, but they're a really big deal. And so those were just a few of the things that I noticed. And yeah, of course, I'm really grateful for that. I really wasn't looking for it because I thought I was fine. But as you can tell, those are things that are not fine. So, yes, I would encourage you, like I said at the beginning, to just honestly encourage people to give it a try and just see if they notice any changes to their health because more than likely they're going to. So,
Yay! I love that. Thank you, Kim. Isn't it crazy? It's been so long. All right.
yeah.
We have our opportunity event. So let me scroll back over and get that going. Sorry, I can't find the link. For some reason, my rally chats aren't showing up in my messenger. I always go there. Hold on. Hold please. And the thunder is thundering. Oh, let me go ahead and actually stop the recording. That will make most sense. Bye, everyone else.